have been proposed to 2 times in 2 years in less than 8 months. So stay tuned to see how I made that happen. This video is not necessarily about working out, about getting your lips done, about getting your boobs done, about getting a BBL. This video is more so about how to be attractive in terms of your aura, your personality, your character traits. Being attractive is an energy. It's not necessarily just a visual. I know a lot of hot people that are just not intellectually attractive, that just don't have that energy. I also know a lot of hot people that are extremely insecure and portray that, because insecurity is one of those things you can like smell from a mile away. This video is about how to be attractive, how to be confident, how to maneuver in an attractive like way to magnetize the people that you want into your life. Hi everybody, I'm Cece. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'm so hyped that I've only posted 3 videos and now I have over 1,000 subscribers. Not sure if that's like a milestone or not, but for me, I feel like it's kind of a big deal, seeing as the type of content that I typically stick with is, you know, a bit more promiscuous than this, and these are just thoughts from the dome. So I appreciate you guys listening. What we're going to speak about today is, obviously as the title states, how to be attractive. As I had said before, I've been proposed to, and this is not a lie, and this is also not to flex. This is just to say, are you going to hire a personal trainer to try to get skinnier if they're overweight? Probably not. Number 1 in my guidebook of how to be attractive: want for nothing. This is extremely important. I have rated these numerically from most important to least important, even though everything on this list is going to be pretty vital if you want to be mentally attractive to individuals enough to really secure them. Neediness and desperation is such a keen, detectable energy. I know from a mile away when someone is, through my dating experiences, extremely needy, needs attention, is in that wanting, scarcity energy. We cannot have that. And that constitutes double texting, that constitutes even initiating the text first, that constitutes texting back right away. You would think, and these things do sound a little calculated, as if it was a game. It's not necessarily a game. It's the idea that when you are so apprehensive about wanting to communicate with this person, you do exude an energy of desperation. You exude an energy of dependence, and we do not want that. That is not attractive, and this is just the basic ground rules right now, everybody. Even in terms of manifesting, if you want to manifest something into your life, you can't just sit there and focus on it as if you don't already have it. The universe recognizes it as lack and it just runs away. Everything that is chased will run away as fast as it can. It's almost just a universal law. There are certain people that will put this stipulation on the relationship right before they even enter it of, if this person does not propose within 2 years, I'm ending the relationship. Or right from the get-go, they'll say, okay, what are you looking for? Because I want to be married with a house and kids in the next 3 years. I'm not trying to insinuate that having goals for a relationship is a bad thing. It's not. In my experiences, and this is all subjective, so take it how you may, you don't want to enter a new relationship and voice that you want to get married and have a house and kids in the next 3 years to someone that you barely know and that you just started dating. That sounds to most people a bit intimidating, because you need to face the facts here. They don't even know you yet. Do not put pressure on it. Number 2, how to be attractive as per sisiirosee: practice emotional regulation. On top of emotional regulation, practice regulating your nervous system. This is a very, very important one. An attractive person does not freak out over menial circumstances. An attractive person is not quick to be reactive if things don't go their way. That's another thing that I myself have noticed throughout my life. I don't want to be with someone who flips a switch like that. I don't want to be with someone who gets in a bad mood easily. I've been with people that had anger issues. I'm telling you right now, it was the least attractive thing about them. It is okay to be a bit reactive sometimes when something bad happens, but I do know people, and I think sometimes it's originated within their own anxieties to lose it over small instances. But I'm telling you right now, to focus on not doing that is very attractive and is very sought after in a person's characteristic. An attractive person stays busy, and that is not to say that you need to be running around the town 24/7. You need to fill up your schedule every single day with multiple things to do, and you need to exhaust yourself. That's just to say that if your partner has something going on, encourage that and fall back. You do not need to be clingy. You do not need to be up their ass. You don't need to do every single thing together. If staying busy translates to you sitting on your couch with a face mask on watching Netflix, then that's what it does, and you should be content doing that. Another very attractive component that also goes hand in hand with that is just being a bit independent. It will elevate your attractiveness. I'm telling you right now, to be independent is a very magnetic quality. To be able to just say, okay babe, you can go out and I'm just gonna stay in and be completely content with that is an extremely attractive quality. I'll tell you what's not attractive is when the person says, okay, I'm gonna do this with my friends, and you say, okay, can I come? If they wanted you to come, they would have invited you. We need to restructuralize our energy here. It's okay to let the person that you're with be a person separate from you, completely separate entity. You should feel confident in that. This is also an exemplifier of just having a healthy relationship in general. Nobody wants to be controlled. No one wants to be told that they can't do something. No one wants somebody who's extremely clingy that doesn't leave their side. People want security, and people also want to know that their partner is self-sufficient without them. That is a tantalizing quality right there. Number 4 is be secure. It's a bit easier said than done. It takes a lot of inner work. It's not something that you just wake up one day and you think, okay, I'm secure, I'm not jealous anymore, I don't compare myself to other people. You need to work on that because you are a lifelong project. You will never arrive, but you can get better and better every single day. So really hone in on being extremely secure with who you are, with what you look like, with your mannerisms, with how you act, with how you speak. You need to develop your own inner self-confidence before, first and foremost, you even attempt to be relatively attractive to anyone. A byproduct of not being secure is you might start to be toxic, you might be comparative, which might sabotage the relationship, you might be clingy, you might be blowing up their phone, and you might be somebody's crazy ex. Parallel to being more secure with yourself is also having self-respect. The people that are not secure with themselves and end up being insecure are the people that take back the people that end up cheating on them. That's not cute. We're trying to raise the bar here. We're trying to exude magnetism. Like, we're trying to make people want to be faithful to us naturally. Do not chase. An attractive person does not chase. This goes to say that anything you chase too closely will run away from you even faster. If someone says, hey, I can't make the date tonight, your response back shouldn't be, okay, well, when can you? I was really looking forward to it. Your response back should be, okay, sounds good. And then you put the ball in their court and you allow that person to initiate the next time you make a date. It's not something that you should ever really be putting this needy, wanty energy into. And this also correlates with the first point of want for nothing. You need to show people that you are okay if the person's in your life, and you're also okay if the person is not in your life. Even in the relationship that I'm in now, and in any relationship that you're in the future, you need to understand that you should not be dependent. You should not be chasing that person. You should be completely okay if that person were to leave you tomorrow. Would it be devastating and sad? Of course, and you're completely valid for feeling the emotions of a breakup. That's normal, but you know when you're mental, and you should know that your life does not revolve around that person. You need to not chase anyone. You need to let people come and go into your life. Save the reactions, save the theatrics. It's part of the beauty of life to allow people to come and go. There is an ebb and flow. It's kind of just like a wave in the ocean. Like, just let things happen and be okay with them happening or not happening. An attractive person is an interesting person that also listens attentively and is extremely good at conversation skills. I have seen a lot of people, throughout my walk of life that are very attractive that cannot have a conversation for shit, that don't look at you in the eyes when they're speaking, that don't speak eloquently. They speak really low because you can tell that they are a little bit insecure even though they're extremely beautiful. And sometimes, unfortunately enough, and this is just on human nature, unfortunately we do judge. I start to think that that person isn't as attractive as visually I had originally when I start to interact with them, because they just don't exude that self-confidence that I thought that they would have. Most people's most favorite thing to talk about is themselves. If you can be an attentive listener, if you can actually engage with things that people are saying and act like you care even if you don't, if you can look at them in the eye and have actual thought out responses to things that they're talking about and keep up a conversation. I know that sounds like a bare minimum, but I'm not lying at all when I tell you guys that seems like an actual lost artifact in today's day and time, to be a good conversationalist. It's truly an art, and it also really magnetizes people to you. Not only do they think at first, okay, this person is visually attractive, they also have discovered that you're not only visually appealing, but you're also appealing in the mind. I also know many people that just by nature are not extremely interesting, and this is not to be mean and say that they are necessarily boring, because I do believe that there are just interesting characteristics and aspects of every single person out there. One key point on how to be a bit more interesting: teach yourself new things to expand your knowledge, to find different passions outside of scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on your phone, to be interested in maybe little trivial things that people might not care about. I think it's very interesting when people have passions, when people like to learn things, when people have expansive vocabularies, when people have different hobbies. They're the type of people that teach you new things. They're the type of people that never run out of things to say. In order to really master those aspects of attractiveness, you really have to brush up on being a bit more knowledgeable of the world. Maybe start to read books, learn how to do new things. So when you converse with someone, you actually have things to talk about. It's not just you floating through life being hot. Like, you need to be more than hot. You need to be an intellectual. An attractive person is charismatic. Now, I think that people have a misunderstanding. I think people misconstrue charisma. People think that charisma is not something that can be taught or learned. It's just innate within you. You either have it or you don't. I don't necessarily think that that's true. Me, in my life experience, I do think that I have always had it, and that is not me being narcissistic. That's just me looking into the repertoire of personality traits that I've adopted through the years, that I've taught myself, and ones that I know that I was just born with. If you want to be charismatic, it requires a few different things. It requires you to be a little more lighthearted, laugh, joke with people, don't take things too seriously, smile at them. It also requires you to listen attentively, to be a good conversationalist, to ask questions about people, as I said in one of my last points. And the third trifecta of charisma is to be witty and to be sarcastic and to be quick with it if you can. There are some ways to train yourself to be more oriented in this subject, but it definitely requires you first and foremost to gain a little bit of self-confidence. So I would consider working on your self-perception first before you dabble in with this, because being charismatic and being insecure just does not go hand in hand. Being charismatic is also just an aura, it's an energy. It typically only stems from genuine confidence, and people can tell if it's real or if it's fake. That alone will definitely give you what the kids say nowadays, aura points. Another big component of being charismatic is having a great sense of humor. I click right away with people that are a little less serious in life, that joke about a lot of things. I like to laugh a lot. I don't know why people would be living life extremely serious, but to each his own. It's not that serious. We're quite literally floating in the middle of a Milky Way galaxy on a rock. So when you have a good sense of humor, when you laugh things off, when you make jokes here and there, it exudes a different energy. It's very appealing and it's very attractive. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that some of these points helped, and I will see you on the next episode.